Hey, how's it going? So we're gonna be doing this one today. It's called separate the numbers. Okay, so I'll tell you straight away how to do it in the most effective way possible. All right. So what you need to do in here is like this. So, right, take the first number, right? Take the first number, which is 9, and then make the machine manufacture a perfect string. We know that the first number is 9. So for the perfect string to be perfect, next number has to be 10, right? Then it has to be 11, 12, all the way up until the length, right? So then once this number is manufactured, we want to compare it to this and be like, is this equal to this, right? No. If that's not the case, what we do next is we take two numbers. So 99, well, 99, whatever, right? 99. So next should be 100. Next should be 101. Next should be 102. Then we compare this to this. If not, we go with three numbers. Does that make sense? So basically what we're doing is we're doing two operations. One, we take the first number and then we start slicing and creating a beautiful string and then comparing, right? Is one digit slicing work? If yes, that's a perfect string. If not, we do two-digit slicing. So we now slice 99. Do you know what I'm saying? And we keep doing that until if none of this works, and you can only do that up until half of the string, because past that point, you just cannot add more numbers into it, right? I'll link you in the description below. Like there is a dude, he explained it really, really well, like exceptionally well. Let me just show you. Yeah. Yeah, so he explained it absolutely super well on how to actually, like the logic behind the solution, right? All right, so that's one problem. This is how you do it, right? Don't try to kind of, I don't know, add that stuff up, whatever. Just do it this way. Take the first number, manufacture the string out of one digit. If not, try two digits. If not, try three digits, right? Four digits, and then five, up to the half, right? Because if just watch the video of that guy, you'll see that the problem, like you will not be able to basically pass more numbers. Imagine even if this is correct, you cannot add. So because this will be 1, it exceeds the length, so therefore it cannot be pretty. Past the point, it just cannot be pretty. Does that make sense? All right, so this is the first problem. The second problem you're gonna run into is, I'm gonna link it in the description below again, is working with huge numbers. Huge numbers. Now, I did not know that personally, but you will see it in here. You see the problem. Once you pass a certain threshold of numbers, JavaScript stops being able to add them, multiply, or divide correctly. So if you some of your problem, if your solution logically is correct, but it's still not passing, that's because you're working with large integers. Integers, I think they're called, right? You see a problem in here. The difference between them is 1. There's clearly one difference, but it sees it as true. And the way to solve that is you basically do, I'll show you how to do it. Now I do that before we jump into the solution, because you might have already solved it. It's just that you are stuck on this. I was stuck on this basically, right? So let's just put this in here. Console log. Put this in here. You see, it's going to say true, but that's not correct. It should be false. You see, now it's going to say false. So the way to convert a humongous number into big integer, there's two ways. You either take the number and add n on at the back, kind of like at the end, or you need to do this basically. Let a equals big int, like League of Legends inting, intentionally feeding Jesus Christ. All right, so both ways are the same. So let's say a1 equals like this n. All right. So both of them indicate to JavaScript that this is a big integer, and you have to be careful with calculations, right? Because what you're gonna run into next is, let's say you want to add, um, you want to add something to big integer, right? You cannot do this; it will complain. It'll tell you, no, you cannot do that because you cannot mix the types. You see? You see? If you want to add like 1 to big integer, you have to put big integer like this, and then it's going to work. Does that make sense? You see, so now it shows the correct big integer. You want to add 2, put 2, right? Because during your iterations, that's what you're going to be doing, right? And then also it accepts strings as well. As long as you're using this wrapper, big int, it's going to work. All right. So just read this solution. You'll understand. It's overall good experience to kind of know this, right? It's not very long. I mean, you get it straight away. All right. So now we've done the intro. Let's start rolling with this bad boy. So let's take some samples. And let's just reset this thing real quick. And let's just run code. Let's take some samples. All right, so that's gonna be our let's put them into an Excel somewhere. So that should be input, that should be outputs, right? So you see we have our samples, right? So let's just take like this. My apologies, I just kind of started, today. So let's just put this in here. Let a1 equal, so this will be string 1, right? String 1 equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Honestly, let's just stick to that, right? So this should be yes, yes, and we return 1. All right. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I think that should do it, honestly. That should do it. Because we can then, once we run into another one is remember that if it's like 1, it cannot be pretty, right? So let s2. If it's a single digit, by default, it cannot be pretty because there has to be at least 2, right? So that's kind of the first condition, is just to check to see, is it 1? Then if not, then return whatever. end of function. So let's put that thing into it. S1, okay. Let's console log S real quick. All right, we need our magic quokka. So if I don't remember, the other want us to console log or not console or return, I don't remember. I'll just do both, honestly. So if you put S2, it should straight away work. Yeah, okay, good. Good, good, good. All right, so now let's do iterations. All right, so remember our plan. Remember our plan, right? We first want to take first digit and create a string out of it, right? Beautiful string. If first digit does not work, we try the second digit with 2 digits. If that doesn't work, we try with 3 digits. All right. Again, watch the video. Watch the first video. You'll understand. So for variable I equals to 0, I smaller than s, math floor s dot length divide by 2, right? Because remember, you cannot go more than, you see, once we start slicing, the we cannot go more than half, because then it just by default cannot be pretty, because it will exceed the length. All right, so let's just do 1. Let's just put break in here so we don't go crazy. So let test1, I suppose, is equal to s dot slice. We want to go 0 and we want to go I think, right? So let's look at what this will give us, right? Something is not right. I think we want to start at 1 because slicing 0, 0 is not going to work. Yeah. You need to start at 1, I think, right? Yep. Maybe ceiling? Let me try. No. Floor, I think, is better. Honestly, we probably need a bigger string so we can test it out a bit. Yeah. I'm going to take this one here. And this should be yes and 99, okay. Yeah, but why is it slicing 1 only? Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, you're right, yeah. Honestly, we can probably go ceiling in here as well. Yeah, but I mean, it's not because there's 5. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It doesn't matter. But you see now it's slicing, right? So we go in 9. Next step is to build, out of 9, build a beautiful string up to the length of this thing here. But you see we're slicing now, right? So first we're gonna test if we take 9 and we build a beautiful string out of it, is it equal to this string here? If not, we try 2 numbers. If not, we try 3 numbers. And then because it's already exceeds the length, it's pointless to go further. All right, so now it's going to do what we want to do, right? So now we need another iteration mode, right? Now we need a for loop, right? Okay, so now we're gonna do, all right, so now we need to populate this with numbers from here, right? So we need to do this. So this is going to be big integer, right? We're going to put test1 into it, right? So this is going to be either 9, 99, or 91. And then we're going to plus big integer and then j. Now you can, if you're getting confused right now, all right, you can, if you want to, right? Convert you. Now these are still strings. You have to remember these are still strings. So in theory, you should convert them to a number like this: number test1, right? So now this 99 or whatever, right, is going to be a number, but you'll only pass 90% of your test because I'll show you. I will show you because you will pass like 99% of your 90% of the test, because once you start running into this numbers, this solution will stop working. Number test. What's going to happen is some of your strings are gonna add plus j, which is like 1 or 2, but because it's a big integer, it will actually add, instead of adding 1, it will add like 2. Instead of adding, I don't know, like 0, it will add like 2 or 1 for no reason whatsoever, because it's computation mistakes because the number is just too big. That's why you have to use big int like this. Int, okay? That's what we do in League of Legends. And again, because big integer can only be added with big integer, you have to put j into the integer as well, okay? So this is what we're going to be pushing. My apologies. There you go. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be pushing, right? I know it's a little bit confusing, but maybe I can, let me just gulp it for you. Gulp. Not gulp, but I mean console log it for you so you'll be able to see. Because this terminal is kind of quite small. You can't see the full console log into it. So you see on test 1, we're gonna create 9 plus 10, 9 plus 2 is 11, right? And then we're gonna create a string out of it, right? We're gonna make a string out of it, and then we're gonna compare this to the actual string. If they match, then you have your pretty string. If not, we're gonna try two numbers, and again, we're gonna construct a pretty string out of it, up to the length of the string. So +1, +2, +3, +4. We put this into a string and then compare. Does it match? Yes, you have your pretty string. If not, continue the process up until half of the length, because past half of the length. Now you can go over, but it's a waste of your time. You can go all the way up until, you can remove this code and just put length, but it's just complete waste of resources, because past half, it just cannot be pretty. Because if you add +1 to something that is already bigger than half, it will exceed the length of this string, and therefore by default it will not match. Does that make sense? I know it's being super confusing. It's algorithms. I'm sorry about that, right? Okay, so now we need to somehow add these numbers to this string. So we're gonna take string test equals string test plus to push. Now remember, when you're adding something to a string, it could be a string boolean number. It will convert it to a string naturally. All right, so now we're gonna console log string. Now we're gonna stop console logging. Actually, I'm just gonna keep it so you'll be able to see it. So you see now it's constructing the strings for you, right? So now it's doing what we wanted to do. It takes 9, it adds 10, right? It adds 11, adds 12, 13, 14. Now the only problem with that is we need to stop the process as soon as it reaches the length of this thing here, because it's past that point, it's a waste of time, right? So if string test length is bigger or equal to s length, we want to break. All right. I think that's about it, right? I think that's about it. Okay, so this like the purpose of this code block is to build strings and make sure they're not bigger than themselves, right? Okay, so now let's check. Console log s length, console log string test dot length. Okay, you see it exceeded because I think this should be a floor. Yeah, now it's 5. So now finally what we want to do, we want to compare. So look, you see, we're going to remove this. So what happened? We sliced number 9 out of the string. We then, we then created a J loop, right? And we pushed 9 into the string. We then added 1 to the 9, and then we pushed it into the string. And that's how we manufactured a beautiful string. Okay? Oh God, I'm hoping I'm confusing you, because this stuff is difficult, right? I'm telling you, like, this stuff is, it looks easy because I know how to do it. I know the solution already because I've done it and I figured it out. But I'm telling you, like, if you're spending like 3 hours trying to figure this out, that's okay. I did that as well. I spent 2 hours on big integers because I couldn't understand why the solution was not working. Even though I figured it out already, like 90% of my stuff was working, and then the rest was not, and I couldn't figure out why. And the problem was big integer. Okie dokes. So you see, now we have our final string, which is manufactured by the machine, and now we need to compare it to this. If it's equal, right? We are going to okay, so the step before that is you have to think in terms of it's always manufacturing and comparing. You want to, as soon as it matches, you want to stop the process. Okay, so now let final test equals string test equals to s. If final test is true, if it's true, all right, we want to console log yes plus, that's just a requirement. They want us to do that, right? And we want to put this into it, which is a point at which beautiful string was matched, right? So this is 99, which is a test. I don't know. I call it test one. Call it whatever the hell you want. It's the one that basically slices the array. They just want you to put it in here, right? So okay. And then return. Well, let's found a match. Let's just do this. I don't remember. Do they want to return or console log? I don't remember that stuff. So let's just do this. Okay, so this will be end of for loop I, and this will be end of for loop J. Okay. Yeah, and we want to exit probably out of this, right? So as soon as it matches, we want to do this magical thing. Exit basically, right? Oh, wait. I think that should work, honestly. So basically, if something, so basically, like in this code here, in this code block here, if something matches, we're gonna exit the function and return yes plus whatever that thing is, right? And if not, then we're just gonna return with no. I think that's the solution, right? I'm almost certain. Let me see. Let us click on the thing. Let me just see. No, what is it complaining? Oh, yeah. It wants it to console log, so we're gonna have to get rid of console logs. So it only wants the final console logs, right? So it failed one. Why did it fail one? Where is the mistake? You see, now we have to manually put the test cases and understand where the problem is. Maybe could be in here. Okay, so let's put some test cases in. Okay, so it fails. I'm just looking where it failed, you know. So my output, yes, first one pass, this one pass, this one pass. Oh, oh yeah. Yeah, I know where the problem is. Yeah, because this one is a return. It should be a return console log. No, it should be like this basically. That's the problem. Remember, I told you that it has to be at least 2 characters long. Oh, let's see the test cases. Okay, and that's it. And that's thing done. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Like, a link in the description below. Like and subscribe, because I'm trying to get to monetization. Become a celebrity YouTuber. And of course, help you. My priority is to help you, of course, because I already have a role where I make money by programming. So this is just purely because I know how it was when I was like, oh my God, there are no solutions. And the solutions that are provided are so confusing. I just wanted to quit and go get a customer service role. You know what I mean? So yeah. And yeah, if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to me, like in the comments. And yeah, take care. Bye bye.